nothing to do with it because I'm set apart from it. But it seems like everybody's surprised that the Grammys had basically a satanic ritual transpire during a performance of a song called Unholy. Well, gee, that's a big no-brainer. I guess the possible Nephilim offspring that was exposed at the Super Bowl, and whatever went on with that, people are like, oh, like, y'all are surprised? What does the scripture tell us? Everything produces after its own kind. Dogs produce after their own kind. So with dogs, you get dogs. You get different kinds of dogs, but you just get dogs. Cats produce after their own kind. You get different kinds of cats, but you just get cats. Apple trees produce after their own kind. You get different kinds of apple trees, but you still just get apples. Light produces after its own kind, so you get light, and dark produces after its own kind, so you get dark. If children of the Most High God, if true believers produce after their own kind, what are they? They're disciples making disciples. They're people being made in the image and likeness of God, transformed in the likeness of the Son after their own kind. And if it's anything other than that, it's darkness producing after its own kind. Wicked begets wickedness. Wickedness begets wickedness. It's not that big of a surprise. Like, everybody's like all up in arms, like this is something new. The only difference is they're doing it right in front of your face right now. Because as far as they're concerned, the kingdom they serve has more power than the kingdom you serve. That's why. They're not scared to be in the shadows anymore. They're not scared to stand in the dark corners, in the dark recesses. They're in your face. Because they know you ain't gonna do nothing about it. We do not war against flesh and blood. We war against powers and principalities of what? Darkness, of wickedness, of evil. Principalities and powers in spiritual places. Our weapons are mighty in God for tearing down the strongholds. They're not carnal, but mighty in God. So if you see people made in the image and likeness of God, because that's what all humans are, made in the image and likeness of God, serving somebody other than the God that created them in his own likeness, it's because they don't know who they are. It's because their family hasn't known who they are. It's because whatever circumstances in their life that have transpired causes them to believe that that is what they do, whatever the case may be. So you have to think about it. Do you operate in compassion, mercy, grace, love, and truth? Because if you don't operate in truth, then it doesn't matter. But if you don't operate in the truth and love, then it matters even less. So the real question is, y'all gonna sit back and talk about everything going on? Because you're not exposing anything. They're exposing themselves. They're exposing their agendas. They're exposing what they stand for and what they believe in. So it's not about, are you going to expose them or expose the works of the enemy that are in front of your face? And so you're going to get on your knees, or you're going to go to your secret place, or you're going to war on their behalf because they were created by the same God that created you. Are you going to intercede for them? Plead that God would touch their heart and change them for his glory? Or are you going to be like everybody else and just yap about what everybody else can see already? It says, do not let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. Do not stand on the corners and make big prayers. Do not put yourself up there in front of men, because you will have your reward. So are you putting yourself in front of men to talk about what everybody else can see? Or are you putting yourself behind closed doors before the face of the Father, on your knees, on your face, pleading with him to have mercy on them because they do not know their created value or the God that created them. And yeah, I know it's ironic that I'm putting this on YouTube and I'm calling out people putting themselves up in front of everybody's